I am contractually obligated to tell you that our podcast is brought to you by our humble sponsors at Monarch. Unaltered and unquestionable content brought from them to you on patreon.com/WSScastProductions. For less than the cost of covering up radioactive mistakes, you can support our show. That's bonus content, early access, and exclusive episodes just for you. Please donate so that we can get out of this contract. I mean, excuse me. Beyond logic lies truth. Monarch.
Great. It's that time again. Another episode of the After Credits Cast. I am Aaron Waseska with my mysterious envelope for today's movie. I have no idea what this one is. With me today, I have joined by my usual co-host, Ryan Menners.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
And we are also joined by, once again, Nicole, who I am not at all suspicious of. Not in the slightest.
What? No, I brought the letter. Why would I be suspicious? I did find it,
you're just
on our doorstep.
Yeah, I don't know how they keep showing up here if there's not even an address on it or anything, so it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. But it did have the right amount of stamps on it.
I mean, as long as they're following that protocol, that's fine. I mean, clearly they're at least following some law.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to follow us and not send us mysterious, threatening messages in the mail, you can also follow us on Patreon, YouTube, Apple Podcast, Acast, Google something, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Podbean, and wherever else you can find us. Just search the name After Credits Cast. We're probably there. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
The intro song this week is Redacted, King of the Redacted. Remix by Remix Maniacs. Oh boy. Oh boy.
How is the music getting redacted? What is this?
Yeah, that's weird.
I know, it's very strange. Yeah, so we're doing another movie today, and the script is... Nicole, did you spill coffee in this one too, or is this just...
What?
This is how it is?
Yeah, I think I spilled a little bit. I was like half asleep.
Okay.
My question is,
Yeah.
how are you spilling coffee on the script and leaving the envelope pristine? I don't get it.
See, Ryan, that's one of the mysteries a woman has that you'll never understand.
Oh, like periods?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it works exactly like a period, actually.
Weird plumbing, walls getting torn down. I don't fucking know. All right, what is this? What are we doing here?
Well, let's open up this mystery envelope here. It's got a radioactive symbol on it, so I'm actually kind of nervous, but we'll see what
Oh,
happens.
that probably doesn't mean anything.
Let's see. Hopefully not. This envelope contains information on 1954's Redacted. That's just fun. Getting a little old, but... Oh, wait, hang on, Ryan. I can see some Japanese kana beneath it. Someone scribbled down there. I'm not sure who did that, but it looks like it says Go Jira.
Gojira.
Gojira.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not sure.
That Japanese is paying off, man. Good job.
Yeah.
I know, right? Only
Good
took me a decade to start using it in real life, but here we are.
It's too real. Too real.
Well, this all makes sense. Written by Takeo Murata, Shigeru Kayama, and written and directed by Ishiro Honda. Per Google, it made approximately 2.1 million worldwide, which is about 12 times what it cost.
Thanks.
They've perfected that Sentai Japanese monster movie magic.
I mean, it's probably a lot cheaper than doing stop motion, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The cast includes a lot of names I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher, but we'll try it anyway. I got Akihiko Harada, I've got Takashi Shimura, I've got Fuyuki Murakami, I've got Momoko Kochi, I've got Akira Takarada, I've got Ken Yamamoto, I've got both Katsumi Tezuka and Haruo Nakajima as Redacted. It's okay. Yeah, no surprise there.
I have no idea who that guy played.
Not at all.
Clearly it was redacted.
Yeah. We also have a Saturn Award for the Best DVD Film Release in 2007, as well as the Rondo Statuette in 2006 for the same thing. And also another Rondo Statuette for the Best Commentary in 2012.
Ooh, now I want to hear that commentary.
I'm very curious.
Ooh.
I wonder how prestigious a Rondo statuette is. Like, is that something you actually work for, or is that just like, oh hey, you got this? It's like a Grammy.
Wow, it's like a Grammy. Help!
I think it's like we talked about last episode, where it's just Ryan giving you a golden star.
Oh, okay.
Aww. Oh man, I had to lean away from my mic for that one. Okay, fun facts. Hey, we got some fun facts for you guys today.
Yeah.
Stop motion animation was actually rejected because of the time it would take and the subsequent cost. Special effects director, why the hell did you do this to me? Special effects director Eiji Tsuburaya.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Sincerely wanted to use this method, but he faced the grim reality that there was simply no one in Japan who was experienced in the technique. Tsuburaya is estimated that it could have taken possibly up to 7 years to make the film with model animation, rather than the couple of months he had been given by Toho. He ultimately had to pioneer the techniques of suitmation, which had its own unique difficulties. However, this would prove beneficial due to the sheer size of Redacted, which was significantly larger than Redacted, or the Redacted. All right, sure. No idea what I'm referencing there. Had the filmmakers gone with stop-motion puppets, it would have required miniatures at a much smaller scale and thus resulted in a significant loss of detail. In the end, the film makes use of stop-motion for 2 brief sequences in which a vehicle crashes and Redacted, its tail moves.
I just thought of something.
Although I really like the vehicle crashing.
I just thought of something. So we have stop motion puppets.
I did look up a little bit. Huh? I did look up a little bit on the suits.
Oh yeah?
About like how big it actually was, because I got interested. So apparently, according to what I found, it was 6.5 feet tall and at least 200 pounds.
I knew about the weight. I was not sure about the height, though.
Yeah, it was big.
So I was just thinking. So stop motion puppets. I mean, obviously expensive, can't do it. And suit stuff, I'm not convinced by it. It gives me a very Super Sentai, Power Rangers kind of vibe. What if, hear me out, instead of either one of those, we go for an even more cost-effective animation measure, Muppets.
Muppets.
Yep, we just make your creatures Muppets and you call it good. Everyone loves fucking Muppets.
That's true. Everybody does love Muppets. Can't argue there.
Oh my god.
Also, why isn't there a Muppet parody of this movie?
I'm just thinking of Kermit breathing radioactive breath on the town.
Okay, but can we be fair though? It would probably be Gonzo doing that.
That's true.
Either that or Oscar.
Yeah, I can see. Well, Oscar would probably play the other monster from the other movie we talked about.
Yeah. But Ryan, I think you have some more fun facts for us.
I do. The movie's opening scene was inspired by the Lucky Dragon incident, where a crew of Japanese fishing boats was contaminated by radioactive fallout from the Castle Bravo test, the detonation of the first hydrogen bomb. This generated much controversy in Japan, especially after the death of ship's radioman, Kuboyama Aikichi. Yes. Kuboyama Aikichi. Got it. This event served as a major influence on the film, with the original script making the connection even more explicitly by opening on a scene in which a contaminated boat ominously arrived on shore with the entire crew missing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Last but not least, this film has 35 sequels and holds the record for the longest running continuous franchise. Gotta love the classics.
Hell yeah.
I don't believe that for a minute. What about let's Let's see. Land Before Time has got a lot, but I don't think that many. Scooby Doo,
Yeah.
maybe. Scooby Doo's got a lot of sequels now.
No, I think Land Before Time has Scooby Doo beat, though.
Maybe.
Do you remember how many Land Before Times there were?
I stopped after like 5. I don't know what they have after that.
I thought there weren't there like 12?
Oh,
This
Jesus.
is a lot. Hold on. Land Before Time. Google, tell me how many Land Before Times there were. There was one in 2016.
What? You're lying to me.
That would surprise me, actually.
There
I
are... Yeah, Land Before Time, Journey of the Brave in 2016, and there are 13.
Hang on. I'm going to look
Okay,
up.
so 2016. So I was right before 2016.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
14. I miscounted.
God damn it.
So,
You had to fuck me over, didn't you, Nicole?
so I'm going to blow your mind here.
Yeah,
Scooby-Doo's animated movies, direct-to-video movies, this year, February 23, 2021, they'll have released their 35th movie.
Oh, shit.
Godzilla, watch The Crown. They're coming for you.
I
know
think we gotta
Pokemon's
take
got a
out a
lot
certain
too, but I don't think they have 35. Holy shit.
I don't think it's not 35.
No, I think it's like maybe 20.
Oh my god.
Movies are there?
I see 23, I think.
I know it's a lot.
Their next one... Let's see. So the one that came out this most recently, Secrets of the Jungle, is apparently the 23rd one.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Damn.
So we gotta take out Scooby Doo.
So it's Scooby-Doo versus whatever we're talking about this week. Jesus Christ. Some initial thoughts to transition here. So I guess I go first. I feel like this movie has a lot more depth and meaning than our previous film we covered. But I also don't feel like it's as impressive either on a technical scale, and we can dive into that in a bit more detail in a minute. But I do feel like the previous film did kind of blow it out of the water when it came to some pioneering special effects, if you ask me.
Yeah. I definitely... I think it's fair. I personally enjoyed this one more than last week's Redacted film think piece. Because I liked the storytelling and the character work. But you're right, in terms of kind of pioneering cinematography, this really wasn't it. I think it wasn't the focus. So it makes sense why that is.
Yeah, I agree with you guys there. Like, the story and what the film was trying to do was a lot more important to the filmmakers than, like, the actual special effects of Redacted.
Yeah. Okay, so I have another synopsis here for you. Again, I did not write this.
Yeah.
This comes straight from the envelope that I've been given. Thank you for the envelope, Nicole. I'm not
Yep,
sure
no
where you're
problem.
finding these at, but they're there.
What? I don't know.
Yeah. So, anyway, let's go ahead and see what this shit has in store for us. A ship crashes at sea. It is believed to be a drunken sailor, the Bermuda Triangle, or God himself. Nothing else could possibly have done that, and certainly it isn't noted in a secret government document that we are forbidden from reading or discussing. This incident causes the Coast Guard of Japan to needlessly panic and look into it further. Scientists of Japan are asked to study the incident, as well as recurrent incidences of drunken sailors fighting God in a mysterious shape in the ocean. One of the survivors claims this monster did it. Fake news, am I right? And Edward talks of the legend of Gojira, and how it requires sacrifices to be placated. Much like the economy, a storm hits shortly after. And our scientists find massive holes in the ground, claiming them to be footprints. They also, quote-unquote, found radiation in the sand and in the water. How do you find radiation? It's not really there.
That sounds fake.
Yeah, it doesn't sound real. Probably going to blame America for the bomb on that one too, right? An expedition is led to find the source, and they find a Redacted over the mountainside. They freak out and run away, as you would. A party boat is also crashed in the ocean. Damn drunken sailors. Before long, Redacted returns to visit Tokyo, and nothing happens that would incite a panic. Certainly not the destruction of power lines, movie theaters, or the local economy. Please do not panic and keep buying the stonks. Ignore words like terrorism and market volatility. Eventually, one scientist named Serizawa is convinced to use his anti-oxygen weapon to destroy the completely not real and totally harmless Redacted. They do so, and it leaves nothing but a pile of bones at the bottom of the sea. The incident was never spoken of again because it never happened, and certainly not a single sequel or came from this, or reboots, or franchises. Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Stupid, sexy, Redacted.
Welcome to I Hate Your Taste in Movies. I'm Jackie, and I love action movies, but I really hate horror movies.
I'm Jen. I love horror movies, but I just can't stand musicals.
And I'm Austin. I love all things musical, but I absolutely hate action movies.
Join us each week as we share our all-time favorite movies with our friends who will just rip them apart.
You can listen to us, I Hate Your Taste in Movies, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts.
And don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Twitter at I Hate Your Taste and on Instagram at Hate Your Taste Pod.
Join us as we put our friendship to the test every week and learn surprising things about each other.
Like how Austin saw the movie Pitch Perfect in theaters 12 times.
Which is perfectly acceptable. Or how Jackie played with oil cans as a child.
Normal childhood behavior. Or how watching a zombie movie makes Jen want to eat chicken wings.
There is absolutely nothing wrong with that.
We release new episodes every Tuesday.
And for the record, I hate your taste in movies.
I wanted to mention this last week, and I forgot to. And I want to mention, so I'm going to mention it now. I like how both these movies, I have never seen these movies before, but I've seen enough references and parodies and just imitators and inspired by films, like inspired by these two films we've been talking about.
Yeah.
That I feel like I've seen these movies without having seen these movies. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Like I'm calling.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a term for it, but I'm going to call it cultural osmosis. I've learned through about these films through that, and I've seen it elsewhere without having seen it. It's bizarre. It's a bizarre
I like
feeling.
that.
That's how
I like that.
Yeah, that's how Ryan learned about stonks.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you call it cultural osmosis. I call it TikTok. I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Bruh. I'm giving you a look again. Just
I
want
can't see it,
but you can feel it.
Nicole, I have to ask, what is your thoughts on TikTok?
Fuck the movie. What are your thoughts on TikTok?
Fuck talking.
No. I have not
bought to talk about TikTok.
I have not bought into TikTok at all. My wife is super into it. Ryan is super into it. I'm curious where you sit on this one, Nicole.
I don't watch TikToks. I'll watch ones that are sent in the group chat that I'm in with a couple of friends. Yeah. But other than that, I don't acknowledge it. Yeah. And then every time I hear Facebook chat go off, and I see it's Ryan, I'm like, God damn, it's another fucking TikTok. And then I get on.
I try to restrict what I send y'all. I try to keep it relevant to the channel.
Yeah, and then
it's entirely my girlfriend's fault. I'm sorry.
And then I go message Max, and I'm like, he did it again, man. We have to end him.
Max? No! I thought if anybody would appreciate it, it would be him.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, he does not.
Golly. Okay.
We need to get Max back on this show. I miss that kid.
I know, but grad school is killing him, and I'm like, I'm gonna be right there with you next year, bud. We'll both be dead. It'll be sad.
Not a good time.
There'll be funerals for us.
We will.
Yeah.
We'll have a Viking funeral in the podcast.
All right, perfect.
We'll light an audio file on fire and send it into the ocean.
Okay. Oh, but I kind of wanted you to set Ryan on fire and push him out into the sea.
Yeah, might as well.
That'll get more views.
See, but then Allegro will be mad at me, and I don't want her to be mad at me. I haven't even met her yet.
Oh, well, it was due. Look, just give her this envelope that I have no idea where I found it, and just give it to her upon Ryan's death.
Oh
Yep.
God.
I mean, I don't know why we have this symbol
Did
here.
Monarch did Monarch take
What?
a life insurance policy on me?
What?
Is this
I don't
what this
know.
is?
Ryan, I assume that whatever company has invested in us, they put life insurances on all of us.
Ugh, fuck.
Probably. Oh.
Well, I've got a few questions.
Yeah.
I've got a few questions regarding the film here. And instead of TikTok, we'll jump right into that. little weird aside there. Well, I don't know if that'll be something we put in the main episode. If I put it like at the end, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
No, open the episode with that.
So what did you make of the cinematography of this film, and were you convinced Redacted was there, or at least given a sense of presence in, or given a sense of his presence in the scene?
I mean, I definitely felt his presence in the scenes. I think for the technique chosen with the suit motion, I think they did a good job of it. I do think it fell short of what Redacted was attempting to do with the stop motion, but also because cost and time and the fact that wasn't it wasn't meant to be a cutting edge like technical film, but rather like a really in-depth story about Japan and Japan's history with weapons of mass destruction and radiation, and just like the past coming back to bite them. I felt like they chose their shots. They chose what they were really going for. So the cinematography was good, and it met the bar that they were trying to hit, in my opinion.
Yeah, this was, at least to me, very much the parallels of American cinema, where it was tech based. So like you're amazed because of what they're able to do. Whereas with with Redacted here, it was more how the shots were framed to tell their story. How like they're shooting on black and white cameras, and that shit is hard to do. And they were shooting outside, like fucking props to them, my dudes.
Well, in all fairness, though, that's all they had at the time, so they were probably used to it by that point. But I get
That's true, but also like to get the amount of like lighting right along with how the shots were composed while outside, especially like in that mountain range, like that was chef's kiss.
Yeah, those are some pretty solid scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've talked about this before in previous films regarding Redacted, Ryan. Are the stories of the human characters as compelling here as they are in other monster films, or indeed in other films from the Redacted series?
I think it was actually done really well, where I had a feeling that I wasn't going to care about, like similar to the other Redacted movies that we've seen, but especially with the scientist. Like, they really make towards the end, they really make his decision, like, the most pressing thing at the moment. And they manage to really make me believe why, in spite of all of this, like, death and destruction, he was really holding to his guns. And it's, this really feels like a quintessential, like, Japanese story to me, because it feels like this is absolutely what would be on a Japanese scientist's mind at this point in time. Despite everything happening around him, he refused to put another weapon of mass destruction into human hands. Yeah. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
I also think it's very interesting I don't remember his name, but the father character who was like one of the older scientists, where everyone was like, oh no, we need to nuke this thing. He's like, no, what the fuck's wrong with you? And like,
the dude with the white mustache. Yep.
Yeah, and like him slowly, like the scene that comes to mind is him sitting in the dark, like in his in his study, I guess, and the girl's like, "Oh, I was looking for you." And he's just like, "I just want to be left alone." And she goes to leave, and he's like, "Can you turn off the lights?" And, like, just him coming to terms with, like, people just fucking destroy things. Like, if it is unknown to us and strange, like Redacted here is, a person's, like, generally the first thought is just nuke it. Or at least in this situation it is.
Yeah.
Well, like, so that character was, like, kind of aggravated me a bit during the course of the film.
Okay.
And I think it's primarily because, like, the actions of Redacted are largely antagonistic simply from the point where it shows up. So while his first theory is to study it and to learn how to undo and combat the damages and like the destruction left behind from radiation and from the mistakes of our past, like, ultimately I kind of wanted to say, but does that trump the lives dying now? like people aren't trying to kill this thing because it's inconvenient. They're trying to kill it because it showed up and it just started killing people, like, out of nowhere. So
Can you imagine?
I
Can you imagine if Redacted just, like, sat, like, on a street corner in the middle of Tokyo and just was just sitting there, like, fucking Occupy Tokyo or whatever, and everyone was like, "We're just gonna kill this thing because it's inconvenient. Fuck this giant monster."
I'd support him.
like
Just be like, yeah, Redacted, down with the man.
Yeah, it's just so, yeah, it's like I see where he's coming from, but I like for the majority of the movie until really, like, the very end where he kind of twists it to, like, or at least it felt like it kind of course corrected to be more about the stopping of nuclear weapons and WMDs. But for the majority of the film, for me, it felt like he looked at it more as an opportunity to study and to advance, like, mankind's knowledge rather than, saving people's lives in the here and now. I kind of wanted to see somebody bring that to his attention after, like, the fucking rampage that it goes on towards the end of the movie. It's just like, do you want to keep it alive now, dude?
Yes.
How many people are dead? You
Well,
still want to study it?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and before I move on to the next question, I was just looking back at these characters, and while you definitely have, like, their archetypes built up, and you definitely have their like, character traits memorized, I do kind of get frustrated with these movies, and even the American movies that we've seen, Ryan. I don't remember the names of any of these characters at all. Like, no, seriously,
Yeah.
like, think back to any of them. Like, the only character I remember from any of these monster films would be Matthew Broderick. That's just the actor name. I don't remember the actual character name.
Oh, Stephen Totopoulos? No, Nick Totopoulos. Sorry.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. See, that's...
It's because they were making a running gag of his name.
Oh, okay. But I guess I know Serizawa because he has been in multiple different movies and in the remakes, so that name I at least know. But, like, outside of that one, I don't know any names, and I'm just like, okay, so y'all are caricatures, not really characters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, in these monster movies, the people aren't really the focus. It's the main attraction, the stars of the show, the monsters, and the parables that the monsters are supposed to represent, or the lessons that you're supposed to learn from how humanity deals with these problems. So I'm not super mad that I can't remember their names, because ultimately that's not what the movie is going for.
I get you, and I think a good example of that would be Shin Redacted we did last year or 2 years ago, where
Oh man.
where we didn't really know anyone's names, but at the same time, though, that wasn't the point. It's supposed to be a community effort, and so the individuals don't matter. It's the collective that matters, and that whole thing worked really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, Shin Rejection was so good. Anyway, in the face of Redacted, what would your reaction be? Would you run in fear? Fight it back? Study it? Fuck it? Worship it? What would you do?
I saw that question. I immediately looked to my notes because I knew I wrote something down for this.
Yeah, are your notes in your Monster Girl book, Nicole?
No, that's a separate volume, Ryan.
God damn it.
Is this about your fan fiction, Nicole?
No, that's another thing that I have here. But yeah, thanks for bringing up my fanfic. Should I bring up the slash fic as well, or are we going to keep that separate?
No.
Anyway, you were saying.
Okay, crossing out Ryan X Redacted. Anyway.
Bryzilla.
Bryzilla! That's my next fanfic.
I'd like to be killed now. Can we just go ahead and expedite that?
No, because then your girlfriend will be mad.
Ah, damn it.
Got him.
Fuck, checkmate. Fucking checkmated. Got me.
But, yeah, a note that I had here as I was just watching the movie, I would definitely worship or, like, fight with them. Because, I wrote down here, and I quote, said, burn the bourgeoisie. And I'm like, yeah, man.
It took Eat the Rich a little too seriously.
Look, he was doing Eat the Rich before it was mainstream.
But he didn't stop with the rich. He just kept eating.
Well, yeah, you don't get any nutrients from the rich, Ryan. Come on, how's he supposed to live?
Oh my god.
You show me
Well,
where in
not
a
only
rich
that,
person he's gonna get his vitamins.
Well, no, on top of that too, Ryan, consider this though, he also steps into little people to get to the rich.
Oh. This makes me sad.
Yeah, I even did a little illustration of me with a shotgun holding hands with as we just overthrow the government.
Is there a
it's
picture
very
in the
sweet.
chat I can see? Because I want to see this. This sounds great. I might make it the thumbnail for the episode if we have it.
I'll have to get a good picture of it then, instead of just the shitty lighting that I have here.
So, Ryan, what would your reaction be since we have Nicole joining the revolution?
Oh god.
Yeah, so you see me joining the revolution. I've got my nice my redacted hat on, and I've got a shotgun, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck the man.
See, I'd be all for that, but they're also, but he's also burning down my shit. So that's hard. That's hard to get behind.
No.
Oh my god, I sounded like some other people with some other protests. Anyway,
The truth comes out. Ryan's actually a right-wing activist.
The truth comes out. I knew it. I knew it deep in my bones.
I never burned my MAGA hat. It's just been in my closet.
I knew it.
No, I think fuck. I think my initial thought would be running from it, particularly if there are things and people that I really want to protect. My first thought is to getting my folks to safety before even trying to think of some type of counterattack. Because I want to continue life after the trouble. Like that's really where my mind goes. It's like, if we get through this, then what? So let's make sure that it's I'm not completely screwed over if we manage to survive through this. That's where my head goes.
So I like how we all have different answers. I am going with the study it approach because I am the one who wants to just kind of observe it, see what it does, find a weakness, not necessarily to kill it, but at least to have an idea of how we can counter it if it becomes a problem, and maybe even see if it's actually violent or if it's just more us that's the problem. You know, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Intel gatherer. I'm the intelligence man.
No, I feel that.
Yeah,
I feel that.
yeah.
Nicole over here is basically just being his best friend.
I'm just being an anarchist in this whole thing while Ryan's getting out his MAGA hat.
This film takes place after the events of World War II, specifically the bombings of Japan. So I know this has been discussed many times in other podcasts, not ours, but others. What is the meaning behind Redacted, and how does it compare to Redacted we talked about last week? And how do the events at the time of the film inform the movie we see here?
You know, it's interesting when you really take a look at it. It feels like both movies really put a magnifying glass on the representative country's past. Redacted from last week, a bit less intentionally, or I wouldn't say less intentionally. It is intentional, but I feel like Americans aren't ashamed of their past, and Japan is.
Yeah.
It's just really fucking sad because it's there's so much humility evident in and how like they're moving forward forever changed from the results of World War II, and they're like, you really are seeing the cultural shift in thinking and like really thinking about where like their place on the world stage and just in humanity in general. And in America, it's like, hey, look, it looks like a black guy. So it's man, we ain't shit. Oh my god, we're just fucking trashed here. Oh my god, I just made myself sad.
Yeah, so Ryan, there's openings in the redacted army of bourgeoisie.
Yeah, alright, let me take that pamphlet.
Okay, here's your pamphlet.
No, I see where you're coming from, though. Like, there is something to be said about how... And you can even see it today evident in, like, modern culture. Like, you can see how America is so proud of its history, even the stuff that it should just be not even addressing. You know, the fucking, Southern Confederate soldiers and shit. Flags of loser countries that failed to be made, and, stuff like that. Nazi flags in a country that killed Nazis. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Japan, they have done everything they can to move on from the very bad stuff of the Tojo era and really kind of be like, hey, we're going to modernize and do cool stuff, and here's all the cool stuff we're doing. Here's anime, here's video games, here's all this cool shit that you want to be a part of and buy and be best friends with us on.
That's true. If they didn't do that, Ryan wouldn't have his anime waifus.
I can't live without my anime waifus.
I know, it's how you get through the day.
He can't pronounce their names, but he does call them his anime waifus.
Wow, you just gonna put me on blast like that? Oh my god. Disrespectful.
Wait, you were giving him respect? Damn, dog,
this makes
giving
me
you respect.
Nicole, anything you would add to that one?
No, I think you guys covered it, just like the stark difference between Japan and the US, how, yeah, we acknowledge our history as the US, but only, like, the good parts that we can spin to, like, where we're the good guy. Where Japan is more of acknowledging it, I guess, more as a whole, without spinning it. Just like, yeah, we fucked up, dog. But it's okay, here's an anime waifu.
There's something I can respect about the way Japan does it. Well, I'm not hating on America for how it does itself. It would be good for modern Americans in general to just take a step back and look at the bigger picture and maybe have a better sense of what they're doing.
A lot of things would be good for modern Americans.
Just leave it there.
Yes.
I just left it there and I just looked at the recording. I'm just like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep, I feel
Nicole, please don't jim the camera.
Mm-hmm.
and then of course there's the whole, an allegory for nuclear war. We've discussed that before, but just make sure no one calls out for having ignored that. We did mention it before, I think, in a previous episode.
Thank you, Random Straw Man, for reminding us.
Why was there a refusal and hesitation from the scientific community to destroy Redacted when so many lives were at stake? And what does it mean ultimately that he allows the use of the weapon?
I don't know. I think it's twofold, and I think we've discussed a bit of both of them, earlier on in the podcast. But it's a combination of wanting to advance society's modern thinking and scientific knowledge, wanting to learn how to work on the mistakes of the past and how to make up for the things that they've done, and also not wanting to add more horrible shit to the world stage. Ultimately, I feel all of it just again reflects on the dramatic cultural shift that was evident in Japan after World War II, where everything was, we absolutely do not want to go backwards. We need to change where we came from. We need to go somewhere new. And so even the drive to destroy the monster was only predicated to save lives. You'll see it's never the people that are the aggressor in this, to the point where if they know he's coming and they only shoot after he breaks through or after he attempts to break down the electric gate. They're not antagonizing it, they're not trying to pick a fight, they're trying to protect themselves. So that feels evident throughout the movie to me.
I was going to say, or add to it too, so obviously this takes place after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and obviously you'd also be hesitant to use any kind of super weapon like the nuclear bombs or like the anti-oxygen bomb. And I think what this whole debate was kind of like Japan or I guess the filmmakers on Japan's behalf trying to decide whether or not such a weapon should be used on living creatures in general, and them deciding to use it was maybe they're coming around to understanding why the bomb was dropped in the first place and realizing that we weren't in the right place when they fell, and we don't want that to happen, but at the same time it's like we understand why it did, and we definitely would not want to do it going forward, but when push comes to shove, that might be the only option you have to really save the most lives possible.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you got it.
Yeah.
Nicole, do you have anything else?
I think Aaron got it. I'm just looking at this one note above my little drawing that I sent Aaron, and it pretty much says the string, and then of course in my head I completed what crimes will he commit.
What would the existence of Redacted even be? Would the existence of Redacted even be able to be a secret in 2020? Would its arrival cause economic instability and cause global panic? Would we even be able to fight it?
Barely anything's a secret nowadays with social media. If this thing popped up, it would be Ryan would be sending us TikToks of it.
You guys see this shit is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, with Nicole, we'd be like, "Oh, this is just CGI. This is fake. This is Photoshop. It's not real."
Right. Until I see a totally not accredited cryptozoologist tell me that this is real, I will not believe that it is real.
And even if we do, Nicole, the red hats will just say, "Oh no, that's fake news."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Of course.
Where that zoologist gives information from, it's all fake. I looked it up. It can't be real.
But as soon as I find out that he's real, I'm getting my gun, I'm getting my hat, I'm like, let's go, boys. It's time. I'm a couple of Max and just be like, it's time.
The time is now. We burn the bourgeoisie tonight.
And then, in 2 hours, he'll show up in front of my house, and then we just ride off into the sunset.
I'm trying to figure out what you'd ride off into sunset with that would fit both of you, but okay.
Well, in his car.
Oh, he's got the car. Okay.
Yeah, he's got the car. I don't have the car. I'm the one making friends with Redacted, so in that way, we have a place in our new world that we're creating.
I swear, if Nicole ends up being the redacted shaman, just fucking kill me now. I stand no chance. I'm not making it.
Look, I always said...
Tell my girlfriend I love her.
I mean, if it's like a dragon shown from D&D, she'd just have a breath weapon and some cool extra abilities, so...
Hey, man. I'll do it. I always said if Cthulhu came in, like, I'll get my cultist robe and, like, I'm down. Let's go.
See, the problem with Cthulhu, though, is you have a little bit of insanity happening, and I don't know if I could, live with that in my mind.
I mean, take away the medication, I've got insanity, so...
Plus, I mean, if you're all in, then you can just not even care.
That's true.
Like, this is a wild fucking ride, alright.
Yeah, you're just loving every day.
I wasn't thinking those thoughts yesterday. That's weird.
Yeah, you're just living your best life, and, goals.
I'm not sure what those goals would be, though. But I don't know. That's a little outside my dimension. So, final question I've got here. Tonally, this film takes a different approach to its main subject than other films in the franchise. Why do you think this film has such a darker, more somber tone? Or why do you think the tone changes in subsequent films to a lighter, goofier affair? And furthermore, did this film even need a sequel? And why do you think sequels and spin-offs happen in the first place?
Because money.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, I think the original definitely has its place with the current events of the world at that point in time. But I also think that after a while, people don't want to feel sad. Yeah. They don't want to feel sad. They, like people just want to enjoy themselves. So ultimately, it ended up making the shift from kind of like a period thought piece to entertainment for the masses. Mm-hmm. And when that becomes like a huge cultural icon and a symbol of the stuff that Japan's doing moving forward, and like and getting away from its past, like, yeah, it makes sense. You want to continually cash in on that and then build a whole fucking universe of these monsters.
Yeah.
Which, of course, we don't know the existence of and aren't even real at all because...
No, of course not.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. Though it is funny to think about them and how the movies become like fucking just pro wrestling, but in big monster suits.
Yep.
Also, why isn't there like a WWE engine like game, but with the monsters from this series?
I'm pretty sure there is.
I would be surprised if there wasn't.
I'm pretty sure
I just
I've
don't
seen
know it.
A game where it's just like, not like WWE's style, but like open world fighting monsters. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I remember seeing
I'll have to look into that because that sounds like it could be really good if made by the right people. That's all the questions I had for Redacted this week. So mail call to everybody out there. If you listen to this and you fucking want to put up with our nonsense, you can email us. You can follow us on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook, and deal with us there. And also, we have an email. You can reach out to us there and email us your concerns as to what kind of deep end we've fallen off of. Ryan, what is that email?
That email is atomicbreaththebourgeoisie at
Hell yeah,
excuse
bro.
me. Sorry. That's evacstation at gmail.com.
We're going to get put on a watch list. I can feel it.
Okay.
I heard atomic and bourgeoisie. Let's get the FBI on that guy.
I think I found it. Unleashed.
I'll have to look this up.
2007. I believe it is. Oh, wait, no. It's either that or Generations.
Oh my god, it's on the Wii!
Well, yeah, I mean, when you have an IP that's that old and that well known, I mean, even Star Wars had some stinky games going out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, before I forget, we do need to review the film, ranking it from platinum to trash, all the colors in between. I made a mistake last time, so Ryan, you'll go first.
How did you forget? Like, I never go
We
first.
We learn from our mistakes.
Damn.
Sometimes.
It's not so much that I forgot Nicole, but I felt like it makes more sense now to build up to the joke versus just starting hitting hard with it.
Okay. Let's see here. As far as technical expertise is concerned, this one definitely does fall short from last week. However, I think it tells a much better story that is definitely more thought-provoking and one that I ultimately enjoyed more. I think I still think that I still think it kind of balances out with the overarching like difference between the storytelling and the cinematography. So I'm also going to give this one a strong silver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would probably concur just on the grounds that we see better films from this series down the road, and I've already mentioned one of those earlier, and we've also seen worse. I don't think it's by any means bad, but it's definitely a good starting spot.
Definitely.
And it holds its place in the horror monster movie kind of genre. I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Nicole,
Definitely.
of course, what do you think?
Yeah, it is definitely a solid movie that has just a lot to speak for as far as its message and definitely the time that it was made. I'm gonna give this one. I mean, silver is a really good thing, but I think I'm gonna give this one at least, probably at least like 4 anarchist revolutions.
Yep, that tracks.
That's fair.
Yeah. Only because I can't stop looking at my little drawing here now that I mentioned it. And yeah, just the image of my head of shaking his fist to the sky, burning the bourgeoisie.
Well, thank you all for listening, and hopefully we're not on an FBI watch list right now. But if we're
we are.
If we're not, though, we'll be back next week to talk about more things in these envelopes. I don't know what's next, honestly. I can't peek. I've been told not to open until specific dates, so we'll have to wait.
Well, because it says don't open it until when it has a date on it. That's rude.
Yeah. What's weird is I didn't see that date on there before when I looked, but now it is, so yeah.
Well, you're also blind with glasses on, so, you know.
Who said that? Well, thank you for listening. We'll see you after the credits. Well, I won't see you, but someone will.
Bye.